Here to discuss the impeachment trial is Kevin Cirilli, chief Washington correspondent for Bloomberg News. Kevin, good morning. Welcome. Lay out what's going to happen today and then heading into early next week.
All right, so this morning is the first opportunity for the president's legal team to make their case after they had the 24-hour marathon by the impeachment prosecutors, the Democrats, to make their case. Now, the president's not too happy about this simply because of the timing. They would like to see some prime time action, and that's why what I'm hearing from my sources is that ultimately they're going to save a little bit of the action for early next week to really make some of their more case. Yeah.
How is this new audio recording factoring in?
Well, it is factoring in the sense that, you know, we were talking a little bit about this before I got on air, is that it matters to the public. The expectation, it's been baked in that Senate Republicans will not vote to impeach or to convict President Trump. But to the public, the Republicans now need to answer to this new type of evidence.
It's almost like there are two trials. There is the one that's going on in the Senate, and then it's the court of public opinion. At least in mentioning that recording, will we see new witnesses and will we see new evidence coming forward? Any indication?
Well, I'm struck by the notion that this conversation over witnesses is still being had. My sources connected to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would indicate that they would like to see this trial move efficiently and over the next week and a half. That said, Republican sources tell me, why wasn't all of this decided in the House side? Now, Democrats are pushing, they are making a transparency argument. Either way, when you take a step back here, February 4th, mark your calendar, the President's State of the Union address. That's the working timetable from when the President wants to have this.
Does the question of witnesses all come down potentially to Lamar Alexander, who is close to Mitch McConnell, of course, because right now you have Collins, Murkowski, and Romney all open to witnesses. So does that then all come down to Lamar Alexander?
Yes. Yes, point blank.
In a word.
And in essence, I would also suggest that even being open to witnesses is not saying there has to be witnesses. So there's this Washington wiggle room that, candidly, inside of the Beltway, we're all used to at this point.
There was this notion or implication by the Democrats that that President Trump was influenced by Rudy Giuliani, who is therefore some kind of lackey, so to speak, of President Putin in Russia. I mean, that has floated to the surface here in a way that I frankly had not heard before.
You know, I spent the week traveling with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo through Latin America as well as Europe, and I asked him in an interview, point blank, about this notion that Democrats have raised that there's a shadow foreign policy or a shadow State Department, and he was adamant that there is not.
Jeff mentioned this idea of if they can get enough Republicans, we could possibly see the witnesses. What right now has been the strongest argument that the Democrats have made that we've seen over the last 24 hours, which may lead to this?
Their argument is what took so long and why are we here? You had all of these months in terms of investigations in the House, and so ultimately that they feel that it's their job now to decide whether or not to convict. That said, the polling suggests, especially in battleground states, that voters, independent voters especially, want to see lawmakers taking this trial seriously.
This quote, vote against the president and your head will be on a pike, which was from a CBS report,
great report,
seems to be playing a role right now, especially as we heard things wrapping up from the Democrats.
Precisely. Now, when Adam Schiff, who is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, read that in the last 24 hours on the floor, during that, there were audible gasps and eye rolls to some extent, and Republican senators saying that they were not told that. However, it again, and that's excellent reporting, speaks to the notion of the public trial that you and I were just talking about. They want to see lawmakers on both sides taking this seriously.
Yes or no? Will it have any difference? Will it make any difference?
What will make
on the overall situation, the vote.
You know, look, I think I would be, based upon my reporting and who I talked to, I know I'm not saying yes or no, but based upon my reporting, I would be surprised if ultimately this trial drags out for long.
You're being honest.
We rarely get the yes or no answer. We never get the yes or no.
I tried to get 73% of a chance.
It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what they think.
Exactly.
There it is.
Kevin, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.